So Yoav Gallant, who is Israel's Minister for Defense, has said that Israel can send Lebanon back to the Stone Age. Okay, I want to read to you what he's just said. During his visit to Washington, Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant emphasized Israel's capacity to inflict severe damage on Lebanon in any potential conflict with Hezbollah, warning that Israel could take Lebanon back to the Stone Age. He stressed that his government prioritizes a diplomatic solution, a path currently being pursued with the support of America. Gallant highlighted the urgency of addressing the security situation in the north during his discussions with US officials. He made it clear Israel cannot tolerate Hezbollah's military presence along the Lebanese border. We don't want war, but we're preparing for every scenario, Gallant stated to reporters. In his meetings, Gallant also presented a three-tier proposal for the governance of Gaza, following any post-war scenario. And he also said, let me just get this up. Gallant's itinerary included meeting with the US National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, where he noted substantial progress on various issues, including force build-up and munitions supply. And earlier in his trip, Gallant also met with Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. Their discussions focused on the threats posed by Iran, with Gallant reiterating the need to prevent Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons. Now, this has been reported everywhere, this line of sending Lebanon back to the Stone Age, and I'm sure Israel will face critics saying this is just war-hungry, bloodthirsty, outrageous, inflammatory rhetoric. Let's be clear. What's inflammatory is having 100,000 rockets pointed at Israel on the Lebanon border, which is what Hezbollah are doing. What's inflammatory is forcing 100,000 Israelis to have to leave their homes in the north because of the threat of Hezbollah. It's completely unacceptable to have this threat and to simply say, well, we're just going to accept it. The moral thing to do in such a case, according to Torah, according to Jewish values, is you eliminate the threat. And when people say, oh, well, it's going to be a bloodbath and there'll be civilians that will be killed in Lebanon, I'm sorry, but that can't be Israel's primary problem and responsibility. Don't point 100,000 rockets on our border at Israel. Don't do that. And if you do that, we don't just have a right, we have a duty to eliminate the threat. And any collateral damage is the sole responsibility of Hezbollah. This is basic morality. And before people start talking about, yeah, but how many numbers are too many, I'm sorry, that is not a relevant question. What's relevant is, are you threatening us? Is it severe? And if it is a serious threat, we have a right and a duty to eliminate the threat. And as I say, the entire sole responsibility for everything that will follow is the responsibility of Hezbollah and the people that are trying to start the war. The difference between genocide and war, genocide is when there's two people living peacefully with each other or next to each other, and then one says, we're going to try and destroy you. That's genocide, which is what Hezbollah are trying to do. Israel would love to have peace with Lebanon, would love to have peace with all our Arab neighbours. That's what Israel would love, nothing more. War is when you say, you're threatening me, I'm going to protect myself. I'm going to eliminate the threat. And that's the obvious, clear moral difference. What Hezbollah want is a genocide. What Israel doesn't want, but might have to do, is go to war. And by the way, as I say, we want peace more than anything else. But the only way sometimes that you can deal with threats, especially violent, inflammatory, genocidal threats, is through strength. It's the only language they understand. And by the way, it's the only deterrence that you can achieve. It's the only thing that can deter other enemies from wanting to attack. Unfortunately, diplomatic solutions can't always solve the problem, and it is unacceptable that so many Israelis are having to live in fear have been displaced and have actually even been killed by these rockets. Israel should do whatever she needs to do, and I certainly will be lending her my full support.
Hi, thank you so much for watching. To watch another one, click here. To stay up to date with all our content, click here to subscribe. And if you're able to, you can help support JTV to grow and grow by clicking join below this video, where you can become a member and get perks including early access to videos and private live discussions with me. But most of all, you'll be partnering with us on our mission to change the world.